I say, Bones, is something on your mind?
Indeed, my dear Watson. Are you aware of a certain Mr. Charles Darwin?
But of course, Bones. To me, the eloquent theories of Darwin are sacrosanct. You'll find no mystery there.
Ah, but Watson, one troublesome question remains. Why do we not find fossilized ancestors of the Cambrian fauna? To this, I can give no satisfactory answer. Precambrian deposits are quite lacking in evidence.
Indeed. I must admit that was a dilemma Mr. Darwin himself was unable to solve.
This is Wally the Terror Bird, and we're going to tell his story.
Our story begins 62 million years ago on the island continent of South America. The KT extinction event has occurred 3 million years prior, and all of the dinosaurs have disappeared, leaving a void for new apex predators on Earth.
From the late Silurian and through the Devonian, the fungus Prototaxides dominated the land. This was by far the largest land organism at the time. At 9 meters tall and 1 meter wide, it towered over everything else. Extensive hyphae networks provided Prototaxides with nutrients by digesting and decaying organic matter from far and wide. Prototaxides may have even provided habitat for some of the creatures living at the time. Tunnel mazes believed to be burrows can be found in Prototaxides fossils.
So we all know that living birds have a toothless beak covered with a keratin coating. But since the development of birds, many species have gone on to adapt their beaks to further suit the environments that they live in.
Some species like the hawk have curved beaks with a sharp edge that is used to tear prey into pieces, whilst others, such as a hummingbird, have long slim beaks for feeding on nectar. The variety of beak types are numerous, with specializations for many dietary needs like breaking open seeds and nuts, digging for worms and sifting through water for food. One of the most famous studies of the evolution of beaks was on Darwin's finches in the Galapagos Islands. Darwin saw that the island finches closely resembled those on the mainland, but that many of them had gone on to develop a different beak structure to suit their feeding habits. Even though the birds were genetically similar and had originated from a single species, they had begun to separate into different groups to fill different ecological niches. And in doing so, their specializations became more pronounced. Darwin used data from these birds to support his theory of natural selection, and suggested that over time, each of these groups of birds with their different beaks would eventually evolve into separate species.
The first widespread use of cooking fires coincided with the appearance of Homo sapiens. By now, the diet of hominins consisted of meat, fish, fruits and vegetables. Their jaws were also less heavily developed and had smaller teeth, with a no-turning-back-now reliance on specialized tools including fish hooks and projectile weapons, such as spears, bows and arrows. This innovation allowed them to become even more successful, with the possibility of now being able to hunt smaller game such as rabbits.
Within just the past 12,000 years, our species made the transition to producing food and changing our surroundings. First, they established small villages. This agricultural revolution transformed Earth's natural landscape, first locally, then globally. Humans invested more time in producing food. They settled down. Villages became towns, and towns became cities. As more food became available, the human population increased dramatically.
Through the culmination of innovations achieved by our ancestors in order to procure food and avail of any and every possible food source, we have moved from a primitive live fast and die young strategy to a live slow and grow old strategy. This has undoubtedly helped make humans one of the most successful organisms on the planet today.
Oh.